This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about energy drinks, pre and post workout nutrition, breakfast, and online coaching. Three, two, one. I'm here with an Insta celebrity.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, it's hard life being a celebrity, mate. I don't know what to do with myself half the time, yeah.
So, sounds about right, mate. You're such a famous man now.
It's just weird people's reaction to it, isn't it? Just odd. So yeah, I was at the stag do at the weekend, and they just couldn't believe that I had 6,000 followers, and I was just like, yeah, I know.
Nor can I.
Really that impressive.
Nor can I. I mean,
no, I can't. Every day I wake up and I can't believe it.
That many people will even bother listening to what you. Well, I don't know, watching, flicking through, hoping for Isabel to be on your stories. Never is at the moment. It's really annoying.
Oh really? I can stick all over it. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Good.
Stick all over it. But no, interesting fact about Instagram. Actually, I just recently deleted about 400 followers. Because there's an app you can find like inactive or people that aren't like active users of it and stuff, and basically a lot of them follow you.
Probably me, because I haven't posted an actual post in like weeks.
But basically, if you have obviously loads of followers, it's great and everything. But if your content gets sent to those people and they're following you, and then they don't ever interact with it, like Instagram's obviously going to like think that no one gives a shit about what you post. So it's actually wise to go for your followers and actually delete people from there who actually are useless kind of users, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So there you go. I don't actually care about the followers I have, because if I did, I would have kept the 400, wouldn't I, and made it 6.4 or whatever it would be. But I actually don't give a fuck. Like, I'd rather actually people who follow me who actually care. I'm probably going to lose about 1,000 people now. I've said that. I'm really awesome to this. But yeah, no. People are all far too quick, aren't they, to try and get as many followers as possible? And it's like, it's easy to just go and fucking buy followers out there. It's not hard. But it's just like they're not ever gonna like help you ever.
I like the people who have bought into the bots, and they have the bots that like or comment based off like hashtags or stuff you've used and based off their likes. Because you get some random trainers do it. There's some trainers that I know who have done it.
Yeah.
And they'll randomly like, so obviously they've liked my stuff, and it'll be like a post from 2017, and you'll be like, oh, this is really interesting. I'm like, what? Yeah. How is that relevant?
Or they put like great photo, and it's a video, and you're like,
like this is really, it's very strange.
At the moment, me and Mike have got, we found out, because basically what you can do on Instagram is you can set up an app, or you can pay someone. I don't know how the guy does it, but that you can basically, if anyone follows you, so say for example I get a brand new follower, right, there's an assumption then from this person that they are obviously interested in fitness, right?
Yeah.
So they set up a bot or an app or something to follow everyone who follows me. So if I get a new person that follows me, I go on their profile and it says followed by this person, like every fucking time. And like the most random people, like I've had like family members start following me, and then this person's followed them. And I'm like, ridiculous, like you never ever would do that. But yeah, me and Mike have got someone who's got an app or something set up on us, because we keep messaging each other going, is this person following them again? Like, yeah, follow them again. And it's just like so fucking lazy. Like, and the guy follows like over 7,000 people. It's like you're never seeing any of those things. You're never seeing it. And it's just frightening the lengths people go to just to get Instagram followers and just to go out their way to do it all. Like, and we're really, I suppose, organic with it. I just like don't play any games. We don't fuck around with anything like that. But it's amazing people do. Like, there are some people's posts you can go on them. This is a bit of a tangent, but let's go off on it anyway. There are some people's posts you can go on them, and I know quite a few of them. They're like they call them influencers, or whatever. They've always got like between 10 and 20,000 followers, right? Always seems to be between that number. And all they get is people comment on their photos, going, "Oh, love this, babe, love this," or something like that. And it's just like a really generic bullshit comment, not like automated like yours, like the people who just put like an emoji or something. It is somewhat related to the post, but like you can tell that these people are never actually gonna do anything. They're just commenting for the sake of it, and it's always like females, and it always seems to be they've got this like these little cliques of like 50, 60 people who just all like follow each other and comment on all each other's stuff. It's just really odd.
I think we should do that now.
Just an odd. Yeah, but like it's just a bit weird. Like, I understand obviously why they're doing it. They're doing it to try and like bait the system so that you get loads of people comment on your posts, and like they obviously all do it to each other's posts, and they
Why
obviously
doesn't it
do
work
it
on my one? Or when if I comment usually sarcastically and derogatory about your posts because you get far too much love, why don't people just follow in that?
Yeah, I don't know really. I don't know, maybe because people are nice. Maybe
Nah. They're just too scared of you. Too scared.
But no, but like it's interesting though, because obviously like if someone posts something and it is actually like someone you like and it's useful to them, it's always worthwhile commenting or liking, because it does actually help the way obviously all the algorithms and shit work. Basically, Instagram will go within the first hour of you posting it. If people like it and comment on it, it's obviously useful information, so then show it to more people, supposedly. But yeah, I just find it sometimes a bit odd with it all. Like, I just don't really. I just post content and just see what happens. Like, if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But it seems that people get really down about it. Like, and they get really like, oh, Instagram engagement's down. It's like, oh, you're just posting shit. Like, it could be one of the two things. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like an odd thing, really. But anyway, there's a massive tangent. But
Very much so, mate.
Someone might be interested in listening. You never know. So basically, if you see any of our stuff ever, if I ever post anything, like it and comment something straight away. Like, straight away. Even if it's just love this photo and it's a video, just comment it. Just do anything, please. I'm desperate.
Definitely not, mate. Don't spend enough time on it. Right, we
I think that's the other reason I think I'm kind of useless on it, because I don't actually do anything on there. not a user of Instagram. I don't give a fuck if someone posts on it.
Yeah. Okay. It's nice to flick through. End up not liking anything. You're just like, yep, this is good to scroll. Okay, cool. It's mainly just
one of your dodgy squats. I'm like, oh, Tom's not back squatting heavy again yet. Look at him. Still
great. Heavier than you every single time. But yeah,
way more.
Only like barely. It's got to be like within 5. It's about 5 kilos now, mate. Definitely. I'm sitting at around like 83.
Okay, maybe within 7 then.
Yeah, within 7.
It's like a whole weight class.
Yeah, I can take you. It'll be fun. Right, we got to talk about. We haven't got to talk about anything, to be honest. But we've had questions in our lives about some energy drinks, I believe, pre-workouts, post-workouts, and nutrition guidelines. And then I've posted a picture. I haven't posted a picture. I've given Dan a question, which he was. I felt he was unsure on. So nutrition, I don't even really know about it. So it'd be interesting to see my obscene point of view, but also Dan's actual knowledgeable point of view. Questionable point of view, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can talk about that. Also, I haven't even reviewed it on here. The Biscoff ice cream.
I'm extremely jealous that you've had this.
Oh, mate! So my client Ali, hats off. He decided to do a Waitrose delivery, and I think he ordered 6 boxes, and he gave me a few. So, thank you, Ali. It was beautiful. I dived straight in.
I need clients like that who send me stuff.
He walked in with like a Selfridges bag and was like, "Here you go." I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like,
I bet they were like perfectly melted as well.
They were so good. It was unreal. But yeah, they are incredible. Yeah, so they're like there's some like nuttiness to it, and then like they're smaller than a normal Magnum. But if you've ever had like the double layered Magnum, that's what you've got in your head. They're slightly smaller, and you got under the chocolate bit, you've got the Biscoff spread surrounding the ice cream, and it just blends in so fucking well, Dan. Oh, I don't swear often in this show. It's so good. 10 out of 10, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's a swear-worthy thing, though.
Absolute 10 out of 10, mate. Like, it doesn't even matter that the ice cream's just kind of normally like vanilla-y stuff, but just putting Biscoff in it is great. And just the chocolate is good. And yeah, they will be. Looks like I'm getting Waitrose home deliveries from now on. Just to get
time to invest in Waitrose.
I don't know why they don't sell them anywhere else. They've got to after this, but yeah.
They always end up doing that. They always have exclusive deals with like one supermarket for a little while, and then
they'll branch them out. It's really annoying. Considering there's a humongous Tesco next to me, so I'm just waiting for them to go in there. They will do. They definitely will do. They've got to. Yeah. Also went to that crazy coffee space that I want to take Dan to, and because they're the most. I think it's the most expensive coffee in London. It's like £15 a cup for... Where was it from? Is it from like Panama or somewhere else? It wasn't the Panama one. I had the Panama one. But yeah, crazy expensive. They didn't have the £15 or the £13 one in stock, apparently. They were waiting on their orders. 100% because everybody just goes there like I want it to and just be like, I want that cup of coffee because it's the most expensive one. It's like...
clever,
but yeah,
that is, mate. That's clever. That.
Yeah, if you've got the balls enough to charge it, people will pay for it, won't they? Like me, apparently. But yeah, incredible. Filter, smooth, bloom, really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate.
I did enjoy it. Obviously wishing you were there, mate, to enjoy it with me.
You always wish I was there, Tom. Whenever you're out and about in London.
Always. Right, we're going to delve into this topic. We've got a couple more, but we'll talk about this. Energy drinks, Dan. What were you asked about energy drinks? How shockingly awful they are, and I can't stand them.
So I had, for lunch, I had sushi with a Monster energy drink, and I was like, that's possibly the best combos for lunch ever you've ever seen in your life.
It's ridiculous.
It is incredible. But anyway, so I had that, and someone messaged me and said, "Are those Monster energy drinks inherently bad for you?" And I obviously wanted sugar in this. Obviously, I wouldn't have one of those ever because it's a complete waste of 70 grams of sugar, whatever how much is in them. But I was referred to the sugar-free ones specifically.
Yeah.
And the thing with the sugar-free ones is that they get such a bad rap because energy drinks in general get a bad reputation. And there's no doubting that any sort of like diet drinks, I think I'm right in saying this, correct me if I'm wrong if you're a dentist out there, is that they're not great for your teeth. Like I think that's one of the things that people talk about not being great, whether it's the phosphoric acid in it, I think it's the phosphoric acid or the citric acid, one of the two, but citric acid is in like citrus fruits and stuff, so that's not that bad. Obviously there's sweeteners in it, but the question about it being inherently bad is always a funny one I find, because a Monster zero sugar one is just caffeine, sweeteners, and B vitamins. Effectively, that's what's kind of in them, with a bit of, like I said, this phosphoric acid, citric acid, which is found in any other fizzy drink anyway. So effectively, then all you're looking at really is like it's the same as having a coffee with sugar-free syrup in it and then a Barocca on the side. And no one would.
What a delight! That would be great. Imagine that.
If over the course of the day you had a Barocca and then at the start the day and then a coffee later on or something, no one would bat an eyelid. Everyone would think, "Oh, that's healthy. That's fine."
I can't stand Barocca. Okay. Barocca's vile.
I'm not a huge fan of it either, but people have it. Believe it or not,
people do love it. Yeah.
But that's all it is. Really, is B vitamins, like I said, some sweetener and some caffeine, and there's not like I said in Pepsi Max, there's caffeine and there's sweeteners, just not the same level. And again, Monster's just got a bit more caffeine in. So it's not like bad for you, but I think they just have this bad reputation, don't they? Energy drinks, they just get labelled with they're bad for you. And like I say, if they've got loads of fucking sugar in, then yeah, they're not going to be great.
That's just because of we're mainly thinking about caloric content, right? For
that reason alone, but also because obviously with kids and stuff, if you give them 50-60 grams of sugar, like this is the whole thing about them being bad for kids, because that combined with the caffeine content at their body weight is a hell of a lot compared to an 80 kilo guy or a 100 kilo obese person like you, Tom. It doesn't make a difference really, that amount, because it's like it gets diluted in your body fat, so it's fine. No, it's not that much for you as your size, but obviously the reason that you couldn't sell them to like 12-year-old kids before, or why you can't now, is because for them at their body weight it's a hell of a lot of sugar and caffeine to take in one go, and it sends them hyper.
Maybe there's a lot of schools near me, so I can maybe start off a side business.
Yeah, you could, mate. Yeah. Mate, you can make some serious cash being a monster dealer. But that's the thing about them, and like that, and that's why people then go, "Oh, they're really bad for you." Like, why have they banned them for kids then? It's like it was nothing to do with anything other than the caffeine and sugar content in them. Yeah. Of those ones anyway, but obviously they've banned the zero sugar ones as well because they don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about, half the people. But anyway, I just think the whole thing, are they inherently bad for you? It's like, no, of course they're not. But people want to believe, the scaremongers, don't they? Anyone who scaremongers, they get a load of press and people talk about it all the time because it's like, oh, I heard once that. Brilliant, I heard lots of things once. Don't believe
it's crazy, yeah. It's just like, okay, cool. So what are we substituting it with? Because generally that person's drinking it because they're thirsty or whatever. And then you have to make the argument like, okay, what are we going to substitute well, you're obviously wanting because you want a little bit of caffeine, get a little bit perky, Dan, get a bit lively.
I just like the taste of them. I just really like the taste. Like, say, it's got a bit of caffeine.
You got to substitute it with something else that will have the caffeine, and you're like, great, I need a coffee. But you don't always
just on a nice cold day in the morning. Maybe it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You don't want a burning hot coffee. You want a nice cold Monster. Like, it's just I drink a lot more of them in the summer than I would in the winter.
Yeah,
but
iced coffee, mate.
I do like an iced coffee, but again, you can only drink so much of that before it gets a little bit boring.
Yeah, same.
Whereas Monster is a bit like you can keep going with them. They're really nice.
That was today. I was about 3 coffees in, and then I went and had like a fruit slushy thing because I was just like, I want something. I kind of want something to, I don't know, with a little bit of sugar, liven me up a little bit, and yeah, just went for that instead. It's like, I'm not gonna walk. It was too hot. Coffee, a bit boring after about 3 or 4 cups. Bit too much. Felt like I was gonna get shit.
Yeah, I just find coffee does get a bit too much. I think so if I have too many coffees and don't have enough water, I do end up feeling a little bit odd. So I just have to make sure I balance it out with Monster. Because of the hydration in it.
So if we talk about with Monster, do you use it as a pre-workout, or what kind of pre-workout nutrition are you using?
No, I didn't use it. I don't use it as a pre-workout at all. Usually, I just kind of have it whenever I want it. Just tends to be before I work out because it tends to be before 2 o'clock that I drink most of it. Then I have it. So yeah, that's probably when I do it. But it's not like a pre-workout. Like I wouldn't take it like a pre-workout.
No. What would you recommend pre-workout?
It's not enough caffeine in it. 100%. So I think there's only 150 milligrams in a can, which is I think the same as a coffee, pretty much. I think there's much more in it. Well,
coffee's isn't coffee normally between like 80 and 140? It's kind of range.
Yeah, obviously depends on how big the coffee is.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, generally speaking,
depends how many espresso shots you have in it or whatever.
But what are you telling your clients at the moment for pre-workouts, if there is any?
I don't suggest any sort of pre-workout supplement or anything like that. Like I've got Ignite with me here, but I don't really use it. I only ever really use it if I really feel like I need one. But like at the moment, I wouldn't say I'm training hard enough or long enough or need that much of a boost before I train. Like I'm pretty chilled about training, and like so as long as I'm a pre-workout meal, anywhere between 1 to 3 hours before I train, I'm not that fussed usually about a pre-workout. I've never really got on with them. Some people swear by them and they love them and they take them every session, but I don't need it.
No, I'm the same. Basically, the question I was asked today on pre and post, and they're like, "What do you have?" I was like, "A coffee, normally, and then like I used to have cinnamon buns, or
those cinnamon buns are so good pre-workout."
To be fair, in the summer, I will quite happily like gobble like half a box of like raspberries, and then that'll see me for a little bit.
Did you just say gobble?
Gobble, mate. Yeah. They're not allowed.
Funny word.
Dan's
you can use that adjective you want.
I can see what you clearly want to talk about because Dan's got a cricket ball in his hand. And
no. You just said gobble, mate. I just
After your fiasco last week, not being able to say what word was it? Worry. How do you say worry? Like worry.
That's how you say
worry.
it.
No, you don't.
Worry.
No, definitely not. By the way, yeah, we have to celebrate that England are world champions. By the way.
In cricket, yeah.
In cricket.
Case Evans isn't there. Case Evans, we won just about. Although technically, I don't think it really counts as a win. To be fair, I mean, the amount of permutations to it.
On comeback, like, you hit the ball past the boundary 26 times or 24 times. We only hit it 18. Yeah, we win. What? Yeah. Sorry? Okay. It was really strange. Really, really strange how that happened. What a day, though, in terms of sport. Ridiculous.
They should have just done another Super Over. I don't understand why they didn't just do another one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We were just like, well, that was a draw, so should we do another one? No, we got time. Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
Just say, like, right, number 2 people get there going now. Yeah, come on. Very strange.
It was very strange, but yeah, world champions. I was a bit sad, obviously, about Wimbledon in terms of Novak winning.
Didn't watch a single bit of it.
Did you not?
Give a shit. This is dreadful.
You're going to get so much hate for that. I love tennis. I also love cricket. I had both on. Kind of easy. And
tennis, never ever been fussed by tennis ever.
Really?
I know that someone that he came back from 2 match points and won or whatever. It's
yeah, he did. But that was Djokovic. But we didn't want him to win though. He's like he's not hated, but he's just not the most favourite.
Isn't he the gluten-free guy who's like, ever since I went gluten-free, I'm now amazing. No, you're just amazing, mate.
You're just a ridiculous human being, and an angry fucker. But yeah, he's won like 16 majors now. Federer's like 20, Nadal's on like 18. Absolutely ridiculous. If somebody wants to actually step up and win something, it could be amazing from below the age of like 32. Mental. All the old guys are just better than everybody else. Very strange, mate. But yeah, go back onto post-workout nutrition. Because the thing that I asked Dan, and I think it'll be relatively interesting for most people, depending on the session that you have just done. So either, say, power, speed, bodybuilding, hypertrophy, strength, aerobic, endurance, whatever. So let's go through those. And would you change your post-workout nutrition guidelines based off the session goal or overall goal?
Not really.
Will the needs
your post-workout nutrition, if we're being absolutely optimal here, this is talking like...
Yeah, we're talking about the 1%, mate. That's what we're in.
Yeah.
We're in the 1%. Always will be.
Yeah,
always
strive
to be.
Your post-workout nutrition needs will be directly correlated to the amount of volume you do in the session you've had. So if you do a relatively light session with limited amounts of volume, no matter the intensity of them, so power, for example, is high intensity, but it's not very high volume, you will not need to stress as much about, like, for example, getting loads of carbs in. Your protein amount will just stay the same, so that everyone would have, I would probably say half a gram per kilo body weight of the athlete. So for me and Tom would be about 40 grams of protein post-workout in the form of a fast-acting protein. So whey protein would just be the logical choice for that. Again, we're talking about like if you had with me like an athlete who was going to train again within the next 5-6 hours or something,
like me,
or had to be absolutely perfect and everything. You would say, look, that would be the best way of going about it. Alongside it, you would then have, like I said, the appropriate amount of carbohydrate based on a volume per session. So bodybuilding or high volume work, whether it's a long distance run, whether it's all that sort of stuff, aerobic, endurance, whatever it was, you would then have high amounts of carbohydrate post workout just to replenish glycogen and speed up recovery a tiny bit. But that's only if like there was another session later on, like I said, or the next day or whatever. But for most people, like people that we train, for example, there would be no difference based on their session. I would just say, look, get your protein in. Same what I just said, but only wouldn't have to be fast acting. You could just say, look, just get your protein in, 30 to 40 grams, whatever you needed, and then carbohydrates if you want them, but don't, by no means essential. Have them later on in the day, have them for dinner, have them lunch, whatever you need. As long as you have your daily carbohydrate amount between that and then your next session, you're going to be absolutely fine. And you're also going to get obviously protein hits in after that, a few more times. It's just so irrelevant. Like pre and post workout is pretty much. In fact, I think more people should place more. I put more focus on their pre-workout rather than their post. The post-workout is literally just get some protein in and then eat whenever you eat after that. But pre-workout, not enough people eat enough food. I don't think they often just don't eat huge amounts, and that's when actually you're better off having some carbs. Probably better off having 30, 50 grams of carbs, an hour and a half, 2 hours before you work out, than you are having them after you work out.
I think it's a massive problem because I train majority of my clients how I order my days. I train my clients in the mornings, and there's a distinct lack of any kind of pre-workout nutrition, and it would be interesting to run like 1 month where they don't have kind of nearly anything, especially the guys at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. They tend not to. They'll just come in with a coffee, and that's about it. I'm like, all right, we're gonna have a great session. But that's where their kind of homeostasis is. So they're always going to go from that position. They'd probably be better if they're training at 2, but then have a month of them actually having a decent meal 2 hours before. I realised that people that's training at 7 a.m, I'm not expecting them to get up at 5 a.m. to have a meal before they see me. I think that would be ridiculous. Maybe just some fast acting stuff. What are the people who say the 7, 8 a.m. warriors? What would you give them?
I sort of say to them sometimes just having a bit of fruit can be good. Like I wouldn't say to them all the time. Like people have this obsession with like if they can't have protein that they won't bother eating, because obviously in the morning first thing they're like, oh, I don't like eating protein first thing. I'm like, all right, so don't eat protein then. Like you can just have carbs on their own. Like there's nothing against it, because again, like having some carbs is going to help you before you train. So for a lot of people, I'll just say some fruit or even yogurt and fruit. They find they can digest quite easily.
Yeah. My go-to is yogurt. I just have those 20-gram Dali yogurts. They're just the best thing.
Yeah, it just depends on your goal, because obviously if you're losing weight, you don't want to be having things like, a couple of pieces of toast or something before you train, because it could be a waste of those 300-400 calories, because you're probably not hungry at that point, all that sort of stuff. So it does hugely depend on the goal, and a lot of people I say who train first thing, they just train fasted because, like you said, it's the easiest thing for them. They'd rather than have a bigger breakfast afterwards. And if they've never trained any other way, then I suppose they're still going to improve potentially. But I agree with you, like, what could you do if you had more carbs potentially? Probably be helpful to some degree, but it is hard. It's hard, but then at the same time, I always say to people, look, it's not going to make a huge difference. It's just going to make a tiny bit of difference.
But then, if somebody who does normally train at that early in the morning, they've hit a plateau, it could be an issue.
Yeah, true.
It could be something that could push them through.
It depends on, like I said, what their goal is. If their goal isn't weight loss and they're happy to maintain, then you can probably put some carbs in there. Because they're probably not going to be worried too much about it. But a lot of my clients focus on weight loss. It's one of the things that they don't worry too much about.
No.
Because keeping hunger at bay is more of an issue for them, I suppose, over the day than having 200-300 calories before they work out.
And then feeling ravenous straight afterwards. And you're like, I wish I'd have that now instead of...
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole kind of backloading stuff.
Yeah, but like you say, if they train harder because of it and they burn a few more calories, then maybe they can eat a few more calories. So it's, swings and roundabouts. But,
even more gains.
We don't really... All the gains, mate. That's all we're worried about.
And what do we think about the 30-minute catabolic window? Is it still a thing?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
No, it's not. As long as you eat a decent amount of protein 1 to 2 hours before you train, and then another serving 1 to 2 hours or 0 to 2 hours after you train, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. And if you don't do it 2 hours?
Every 3 to 5 hours, you're fine.
Isn't there... What was the study about 24 hours and it would still have an effect? Wasn't there the kind of just falling, like, sensitivity markers up to 24 hours where you still have some sort of...
response,
muscle resynthesis based off whatever your...
Yeah, it's just not an issue. It's just such a null issue. Like, it's... Yeah, having protein throughout the... Like, you think about how many protein spikes you're going to have through the day. Most people who are interested in fitness will have probably 4 or 5. Just because you don't have one immediately after you work out, it's like your muscles aren't growing all the way through another 24, 48 hours. It's like, no, they are. Yeah. It's just massively overhyped, as always. But, again, it's that 0.1%. If you want to really focus on it and get your muscles back to being anabolic as quickly as possible, then, have loads of quick-acting carbs and have some quick-acting protein, but...
If people don't agree with it, you can see the whole rationale of like the was it like maximum recoverable volume stuff, because they won't hit, or for per body part you're trying to hit a certain amount of, say, that's maximal 28 sets per every 2 days, because chances are that's still going to be sore or still growing and still recovering. So chances are you can still have protein to synthesize it or replenish it, right?
That's it.
Madness, all tying into one.
See, mate, you do know something about nutrition.
Who knows? Do I? Nah.
No,
pretend to. I know enough to hold my own in a conversation with you. Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
But it brings us on to, mate, considering I had a good breakfast for the weekend, and I was thinking, what is the best breakfast that you can have?
Mate, this is such a hard question.
It is such a hard question. That's what we're here for. Tough
because
stuff.
It depends on mood as well, I think, you see.
Yeah. So this is where we can split them into categories, really. If you're thinking like hangover breakfast, a Saturday morning breakfast, a quick breakfast, and maybe a healthy-ish breakfast, or a brunch breakfast.
Hell,
there's like 5 different ones.
All right, there's too many there. That's too many.
A weekend breakfast that can, like, has like time, right? That's no time restraints. We're not going to go into cereal because we talk about it all the time.
It's not breakfast anyway. Cereal's
anytime cereal. A healthy, I'm using air quotes, breakfast, and a quick breakfast. Those 3. What we saying?
We're not going for hangover, no. I thought it was quite an important one.
All right, fine. You can have hangover. You said there was too many categories. I came up with 5, and now you only want 4.
Well, who cares about health, mate? I'm more worried about hangover.
No, you're not.
So
actually, Dan's been drinking a lot more this year. I've noticed.
I am, aren't I? Yeah. Stress is what it is. There's a real. You can see why over the last year. You can wonder why that's been. Yeah. So I would say quick and healthy. I'd put in the same one because it's one I have all the time, which is yogurt with strawberries, raspberries, apple, bit of honey on. Bingo. Like, love it. Let's both quick and healthy.
Well, all that sugar, mate. All that sugar. It's going to go crazy.
Oh, yeah, all that sugar. Really bad. But I don't know, you see, because, like, favourite breakfasts, right? It does change regularly. But as much shit as we give the avocado, Tom, I do like poached eggs, bacon, and avocado on toast.
It is good, right?
It is good.
There's something about it that's just like the fat cuts through the saltiness of the bacon. And
something so good about it. And I'm not as big on like the more decadent sweet desserts like pancakes and stuff. I'm not massive on them unless it's bacon and maple syrup on pancakes. It's the only one.
Yeah, it's got to be. I would go savoury. Definitely savoury pancakes. You're not going sweet for a morning choice. No. You can't have like chocolate and banana or all that. It's just not. Jog on, mate. No, it needs some bacon and some eggs in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, and then I think. See, my weekend one would be the bacon, the avocado, and the eggs, and then my quick and healthy one would be the yogurt and that. So there you go. I've done mine.
So I've got to concur on the yogurt stuff. So the quick and healthy stuff, I'm having like Arla yogurt, or I tend to make smoothie based things. So I'd still put that yogurt in, or maybe some protein stuff, and then whatever milk's in the fridge at the time. I'd put some oat milk in there. Lovely. And I do frozen fruit. And then
easy.
Oh, it's so good. It is good because it just all blends together. Shove it in the NutriBullet, boom, and then you chow down on that. Whatever you got, like that's probably about 20-30 grams of protein, depending on how much you put in. Mix it around. Easy as anything. I just tend to. That would be my quick, easy, healthy breakfast stuff. And then if we're going, eggs are definitely there. I'm not going to go avocado because I do like them, but I don't tend to go towards that way. Oh, this is the thing that I said. Because I do like eggs Benedict or eggs Royale and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so with the hollandaise sauce, but I don't understand why eggs Benedict is. So if I wanted a perfect one, right, I would go like muffin or bagel. Probably I'd go because I eat bagel more than muffin. So I'd have bagel with the hollandaise sauce instead, and then I'd get bacon and then egg and then hollandaise. I don't understand why eggs Benedict and everybody sells ham instead of bacon.
Well, because that's what it technically should be.
Yeah, I know, realise that, but I would 100% buy the bacon one and not the ham one.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I agree.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But I think if you're going to have the hollandaise sauce, you've got to have smoked salmon because it's the richness of it. Like, I don't think bacon and the richness of hollandaise goes very well.
You reckon?
No.
Might do it tomorrow, just to see.
Well, you can, mate, because you've got the delights that is London to have breakfast in for a while, can't you?
Yeah.
Although I could, to be fair, tomorrow if I wanted to go and find someone, does it?
Yeah, 100%. Bath's Little London, mate. Now.
Mate, it's fucking turned into it, yeah. Your fault.
But, I think I'd go towards that. You can't really beat full English stuff. I'd have, like, some sort of... And I realised that I can get two choices now. I want pancakes and, like, what's the potatoes that are in Breakfast Club?
Oh, those fried little... I don't know what they're called. Like.
Amazing, like, balls of awesomeness. Then maple syrup, bacon, eggs. Poached or scrambled?
You see, I like them both. They're the two choices I go with. I never really have fried.
But the only thing... I never have fried either. The only thing you can get is a bad... You can't really get very many bad poached eggs, I feel, in restaurants. But you can definitely get bad scrambled egg. Because scrambled egg can be overdone so badly. It's been sitting there for a while.
I always prefer scrambled eggs underdone.
Underdone scrambled egg, 1000%. It needs to be a little bit gooey, runny, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Laura doesn't like them like that, you see. We always have arguments. Really? I have to take mine out first.
Oh, Laura doesn't have a clue what she's doing, does she?
I know. Of course she doesn't, mate. Come on. We know this by now.
You let her in the kitchen? Jesus.
Mate, I'm a million times better than her in the kitchen. But that's not saying a lot.
I know, that's basically like you turn on the oven, mate. Well done.
Yeah, she burns toast, mate. Like, how can you burn toast these days? Like, you've got a setting on it. You know what I mean?
It's absolutely madness. All right, we got last topic, Daniel, because it was something that was a rife in the UK PTs group, and
fucking that group.
why wouldn't we comment? Basically, it's a quick one, man, because I thought it was interesting. And it's always interesting for PTs or maybe potential trainers that are listening to this show, or wannabes, I don't know, want to go into what we do, is what to expect, say, the best thing and the worst thing about online coaching. Because it seems to be even abundant on that UK PTs group, is people who are going to be like, oh, I've been one-to-one PTing for like, or an academy coach or a fitness coach for a year. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna go into online coaching now. Got my level 3. I'm gonna do this. So, all right, cool. There was a lot of like, you need to be a one-to-one personal trainer before, but you don't. But it's like a big skill set that we'd find essential if we were going to look at somebody. Yeah, what's the best thing about being an online coach? What's the worst things about being an online coach, mate? Essentially, what
I guess from those sorts of questions, I suppose that those people sort of ask. I think I listened to a stat only today that a guy who works with one of the leading providers.
Overheard at Starbucks? Was this?
No, it was not overheard at Starbucks. No, someone actually knows what they're talking about.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, they work in partnership with like one of the leading providers of PT courses, PT level 3 courses and stuff. And they were saying that at this present time, there is no worse a time to get into fitness. Like, more and more people are trying to get into fitness, more than ever. But the dropout rates after 2 years are also the highest they've ever been. 70 to 80% of people after 2 years drop out after trying to do it, right? And I talked about this. I someone asked me this question on my Instagram stories the other day. They said, do you agree that basically the lifespan of a personal trainer is really low, or whatever it was? I can't remember exactly. I'll get it up. And I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, it's ridiculous. That's not true. Fundamentally, just not true. And I kind of went over the reasons why, and I thought it'd be good to chat about. So the question was, would you agree the fitness industry doesn't seem like a long-term industry to work in? And my answer was, not at all. The problem is people go into it for the wrong reasons. Liking the gym or having a transformation yourself isn't a good enough reason to go into it. You have to actually genuinely want to help people. Ever since I was 16, I was coaching people and helping develop skills. So when I was 16, I was coaching football, cricket, whatever. At uni, I coached people. I coached in primary schools for free as part of my degree. Like I said, went into football. I was coaching. I've been coaching since I got into sport, helping people coach.
I think the coaching thing is a massive element. I think it sets people from careers to like hobbies apart. Huge.
And you can see it a mile off. People that actually are interested in helping people develop, coaching people, and like I said, like a lot of the time when I get testimonials from clients and stuff, it's not just like, oh, I feel great, I've lost weight. In fact, hardly any of them say that. But yet they've achieved. Yeah, it sounds bad.
They never do, Dan. We know that.
Yeah, they never lose anything. It's not, but like the weight loss is like a byproduct. Like, and I say this to all my clients. People don't believe me. It's like the transformation is a byproduct of transforming how you think about food, your training, the stress you have around it, all that sort of stuff. And that comes from having a good coach and someone that coaches you through it. Now, if you're a one-to-one PT or you're a fitness coach or whatever, you've probably only really coached a handful of sessions, a handful of people. What makes you think you're going to be able to coach people remotely if you haven't been able to do it successfully, arguably for long periods of time, one-to-one? Now, I had a bit of a leg up. I only did one-to-one PT for 3 years before I went into online solely. But like I said, the years before that, from the age of 16, I was coaching people one-to-one in groups. In football, I was coaching people one-to-one in groups for years and years and years. And I think the worst thing about online training or being an online coach is the perception that it's easy. That really fucks me off. Seeing people who go through a transformation, and I've had people do it themselves. Like, I've had clients do it, and transformation. A year later, I look at them, they're an online coach now, and I'm like, fucking brilliant, just because you've transformed yourself with my help. But it's that thing of like, oh, I enjoyed it. Oh, I enjoy the gym, so I'll be a PT. No, ridiculous. Like, that's not how it works. I enjoy coaching people. I've enjoyed coaching people since I was a kid. That's why I got into coaching. The fact that I coach nutrition and training now is just the niche of coaching that I do. I could have gone into football coaching, whatever. My mum's a teacher. My brother's also was a football coach. He's gone into analyst stuff. But again, it's coaching. He's helping people to be better coaches. And I don't want to say it's like genetic or whatever, because it's not, obviously. But I've been surrounded by it for a long period of time. And I don't think it's talked about enough that coaching, like you talked about there, is a profession and a skill. It's not writing down someone's fucking macros and sending them an email going, there you go, do that this week. That's not what it's all about. And it's the perception that as a PT, the online bit is easier. Like, you hear a lot of PTs do it. Oh, I think I'm going to go into online coaching. I've got about 40 hours, a month now as a PT. I think I'm ready for online. I'm like, no, mate, you're not ready. Like, you never will be ready.
40 hours
like
a
the
month.
Systems you need in
Well,
place.
yeah, but
you're not.
What are they charging?
Mate,
Jesus Christ.
Mate, you hear them. Mate, you hear it all the time. Look, come on, you hear it all the time. You see it all the time. I get it. I get people all the time asking me. And I'm like, why don't you get full to the brim at one-to-one PT first? Full to the brim. Because more people, believe it or not, are going to pay money for that because it's well established. People know what they're going to get. Online coaching, people still ring me up now and go, so what do I get? What is it? People still don't know. I have to explain it to them, the process involved and all this sort of stuff. Whereas it's far easier to get someone to come into a gym and sign up for a one-to-one PT because they know what that involves. It's like a well-known service. If you're a good PT, you've got a good reputation, you'll make money. But the online world is so difficult to break into because every Tom, Dick and Harry's doing it at the moment. Someone could just put a picture of their fucking arse and go 4-week booty blaster, join here. People will join it because it's the picture of their arse. Like, more so than ever, how you look online, I suppose, unfortunately, is your perception of how good you are as a coach, rightly or wrongly. But that's the perception. At least in the gym, you've got a chance to make an impression verbally. I can't remember what the question was, and I just started fucking ranting.
I realised that, but yeah.
But the thing is the perception that it's easy, and that really annoys me.
Well, this is the worst thing, right? So perception.
This is the worst thing, and this is the worst thing about the whole thing as an industry and as a whole is like, I know loads of people who are good at what they do in the online world. They're very, very good, and they genuinely care and want to help people. And I work with some of these people. Like, I've now developed more into, I suppose, my job now. I've got about 4 or 5 clients of mine that I do their nutrition and training, but I also help them with their business and being a better online trainer and being better at being a trainer, whether that's in person, online, whatever. Because I'm now at the point where I can develop those skills with these people.
Yeah.
And I've got like one client who solely just does that with me. I just mentor him with his online fitness stuff, and like really. And again, the reason he wants to go into it is because he's peaked with the one-to-one stuff. So I'm like, right, I'll work with you because you're fucking smashing it, and you want to develop into this because you're a good coach. Don't worry about it. He's got 9 new clients in 6 weeks. Don't worry about it. But it's fine. But it's the whole perception that it's easy.
He's also lost 8 though, right?
Yeah, he's lost 28. But no, he's really happy. And again, it's some really simple, cool things. But again, it's because he's good at what he does and he cares and all that sort of stuff. The good thing about online coaching, online training is, I suppose as a coach, the good thing it gives you, I suppose, is the flexibility, I suppose, in your day to not have to get up at 5 a.m. and do PT sessions and that sort of stuff. But I hate talking about the good things. It makes it sound like it's easy or whatever. And it's like the good things only come after fucking years and years of hard work. Like, I don't want it to come across as though like you'll get this straight away, because you don't. Like, you genuinely don't. But for me, like, there's a lot of things that people just aren't talking about. I'm going to go into more of the bad stuff because, you know what, people need to hear the shit. So like, I went to the stag do this weekend, and people were asking me about being self-employed and all this sort of stuff, and they're like, oh, it must be great, not having to set an alarm. I'm like, yeah, I don't set an alarm. Isabel wakes me up every fucking morning, but I don't set an alarm. I don't have to generally get up before 8 o'clock if I don't want to. I don't have to. But at the same time, that's also a huge negative, that I've got no one looking over my shoulder going, what are you doing? Checking up on me. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Your numbers are low. What's happened with this? You have to do it yourself. You have to be so self-disciplined to do it. And it's why, on the one hand, yes, it's great having the flexibility to pick and choose when I do my work. But at the same time, that also means I very rarely take time off. Like, I've not taken a holiday yet this year. I haven't got one booked. Because I feel like I can't take a day off, because I always have to be doing something, because I've got no one telling me what to do or helping me or pushing me in the right direction with things. And I think that you have to be so disciplined in what you're doing and make it and be happy to make mistakes and to learn from them. And I just don't think people are prepared to do that, and they see the good things. They see the flexible lifestyle. They see the working from on a computer anywhere. They see not being tied to a gym, not paying rent. They see people with their transformations online, but they don't understand the work that's taken to get to that point. They assume that they're going to go online and within 10 weeks they're going to be that person. And like, I would only say up to this point now, do I feel comfortable with my business, as it were? It's taken fucking 4.5 years to feel comfortable with it. And even now, I'm not saying that I'm really comfortable. I'm just comfortable enough to not be constantly worried about it. Like, and you have to have very thick skin. You have to understand that it's a cutthroat industry and not everyone's just ready waiting to buy off you. I think there's an assumption that everyone's just out there prepared to fucking hand over hundreds of pounds worth of money for no reason. Because it's made to look easy. But anyway, that's a massive fucking rant, isn't it? But the good things that I do have now that I absolutely love is that I absolutely love the feeling that you get when someone says that you've transformed their life or their way of viewing things to the degree that I've never had before with one-to-one PT or with working in football, because I suppose I take charge of that much of someone's life now that as a PT you don't really go into, like, for example, you don't really go into like massively into their nutrition, their NEAT, their lifestyle, their sleep, their overall change and transformation, because for you, especially I know from being a one-to-one PT, like you just can't go over it all in the hour. Like you don't have that same level of transformation because they're not signing up with you or coming to you for that reason. Whereas people come to me because they want to drastically change the way they look, and that affects then how they feel about themselves and that sort of stuff. Whereas I think as a one-to-one PT, they're coming to you for the technique advice, confidence in the gym, being stronger, rehab, that kind of stuff. And people are going to say you've changed their life in different ways because they can move freely now. They don't constantly get injured and all that sort of stuff. So they're the good things. And obviously having the flexibility to do what work I want when I want. But like I said, that's also a drawback.
Sorry, I was confused over what you just said. Do what I want. Do work what I want.
When I want.
When I want.
Do what work I want when I want.
It confused me, mate. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Just looking confused at you anyway.
But I think there's also this assumption that like we don't have days that we work. Like I work like Thursdays and Fridays. Like Thursday, especially my check-in day, busiest check-in day with my clients. I'm working 9 till 6. Fridays, I'm working like 9 till 4, flat out on the phone doing video messages, taking an hour for lunch on the Thursday. Like there's this perception that it's all just like 1 hour work.
Yeah, you're just kind of 1 hour there or here or there, just kind of faffing around. Have your gym session every single day. Absolutely fine, which is interesting, but I think
people that also don't see like they don't see me driving up to Leeds on a Sunday filming videos all day Sunday, all day Monday. The other day we hired out studio at university, filmed all day. Like the people don't want to see that bit. Do you know what I mean? They don't think that happens. I think they just assume that all our videos get made and that that the editing just happens like that and all the nice videos come up and like I just think that people have a really, really poor perception of the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes, that they just don't. They wonder why, for example, their content doesn't do very well, or why maybe their stuff doesn't look on brand. It's like, well, because you haven't got a brand guide, you haven't paid someone for that. Like you have, all this sort of stuff that people just assume just lands on their fucking lap. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think there's perception of it because
I think it's a whole. I feel like with that, it's the whole putting work in. It's a lot like the stuff that I don't know. Maybe we're going into more now, and you realise you have to put the work in way more now, and then maybe it's a year, 2 years down the line that it becomes apparent that the work was actually worth it, and it might not be worth it. That's the case, but it's just like it's that gamble or that commitment that you have to make, especially with the online training. Like I didn't go fully into it, and I probably never will. To be honest, because I don't think it's my skill set, and I don't get motivated like the same as Dan does, and that's a big thing as well. Considering I'm full one-to-one PT, so I've got the ability maybe to go into online, but like let's smash this as well. But I also don't want to commit that time because there's other stuff that you don't have to. Well, if you're a personal trainer, you don't have to do that if you are full one-to-one. No way. You can go into mentoring. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I do mentoring, teaching trainers, that kind of thing, education, go into content creation, all kind of stuff like that. So start writing for magazines, do all this kind of stuff instead of online personal training. It's not just, and realising that I think all of those other things I've just listed way easier than online personal training, and probably easy to get into because you just, I don't know, just the mentoring stuff. You're probably in a gym. Suddenly, there's other trainers. You're busy. Help them get busy. Madness. I know it's madness.
Yeah, madness, isn't it? Yeah, what you
it's like
it's all what you know and all that.
Like at First Base, that's in terms of education. That's what I did. I was like, all right, well, we have a whole group of trainers now. Should we just run like a 2-hour thing a week? Didn't get paid for it at the start, and then suddenly that becomes a job, and you start paying for it, and they realise the value because people actually go. That's how I created the education specialist roles. But it was interesting, and with the mentoring, it's just easy. Just take care of other trainers there, and then if you're content creation,
again, if you care about them, like
if you genuinely, but that's just a genuinely caring about other people's coaching as well, and realizing they work for either me or I'm working in a similar environment. Then people's perception of me is based off their people's perception of those people as well. So that's why I always think like.
I think it comes back to that whole thing with the online training, but also I think with what you do, Tom. I think people that are good at their job make it look very easy. Like any professional athlete who's the best in the world or the best at what they do, the very, very good ones, they make everything look very, very easy. And I think that's the other thing with online training is it's made to look very easy. Maybe I'm to blame as much as anyone. I don't talk about the hard times or the bits that aren't as great, but again, I don't need to. Like my audience don't give a fuck, they don't care. But the people that I do mentor and talk to, like I do tell them, like I have days where I sit here, like I've said to you today, no inspiration to post anything, no content ideas, no nothing. I was like, couldn't be fucking bothered. Like, and I have everyone has those days, but I think that like if you good online trainers make it look very, very easy, but like we've discussed, like with this podcast as a prime example, like if we'd just looked at like the first 20 shows and gone, oh, no one's really bothering listening, let's just pack it in, you'd never be where we are now. And who's to say that we wouldn't have had a guest on that we've spoke to, that we've got to know, that's led us to these opportunities that we've got now and all this sort of stuff, right? Yeah. And I think people are so short-sighted with it all. They play the short game. Like I said, after 2 years they give up, and it's like, yeah, but after 2 years I could have given up and gone, like, I'm not making huge amounts of money, I'm not doing it, but I wasn't doing it for that. I wasn't doing it to try and make a fortune or to make shitloads of money. I was doing it because I genuinely wanted to do this and care and help people. And it's like James Smith's another example. Like he blew up, but people know no one talks about the years before that he was training people.
Two and a half, 3 years of doing crap online, doing probably the same videos, and then probably like
just someone came
gradually
along
got traction, and then it went through. And it's weird.
And I think it's that whole thing of like people just are so afraid to turn up and do stuff. And like don't keep doing the same shit if it's not working. Like change it and evolve. That's the other thing people do wrong is that they keep putting out the same shit that's not working or that worked once, and they go, oh, I'll keep doing that. It's like, no, time's changed, mate. You need to move on. You need to adapt. And there's like different stages of being an online trainer and different stages you're at, and where all those sorts of things that come into it as well. Like it's a massive minefield, and to just go, oh, I'm going to be an online trainer now. Like, come on, mate. Like it just baffles me. It really does.
That's a good rant, man.
Thanks, mate. But I think I do feel strongly about it now, because I think I am going into now more the mentoring stuff. Like people are signing up with me now to go, okay, I need your help with nutrition and training, but also can you help me with my business? And I'm like, okay, because
it'll cost you.
To realise that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but of course it will. Of course it fucking cost you, because it takes up more of my time. But it's the same, like I think we've talked about, like with workshops and stuff. We want to do more of those in the future, because you know what, we're now in a position where we can go, yeah, we've been trainers for this long. This is what fucking works. Like, if you want help when you first start out, like ask people who are still in the industry, are going strong, because like I just said, 78% of people drop out after 2 years. You don't want to be fucking conned by one of them in their first couple of years, going to a fucking workshop because they don't know anything. Going to it for the right reasons, I think, is probably the outcome of that.
The biggest outcome, 100%. Yeah, same with one-to-one PT. If you don't like people, don't do it.
If you don't like early mornings, don't do it.
Very true. Yeah, there's a few trainers who just do evenings, and I think that's bonkers. I'm like,
I'd much rather do mornings.
I'd much rather do mornings. Get the day done, bam, go enjoy yourself. Interesting. Right, mate, should we cap that there?
I mean, people are probably sick and tired of me by now. Turned off.
All right, next week I'll actually be with Dan. Shock in Bath.
Yeah, we'll actually be together, won't we, mate?
I know. Somebody did ask me. It was like, "Have you ever done a show together?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "We do it every week." It was like actually one-to-one, like in person. I was like, "Yeah, that's how it all started. That's raw.
That is proper raw. That
raw, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
That's why we've got the little splitter. That's why I've still got this little splitter here.
I'll have to actually bring my lapel mic. That'd be annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I have to work out how to actually record it. You got all your fancy
Sorry, mate.
recording equipment. So
I've got 2 lapel mics. Don't you worry about it.
Have you? I don't have to bring it. Amazing.
No, I don't worry about it. Got my other one, haven't I?
Oh, super. All right, we'll cap that there, mate, and we'll catch you live next week.
See you later.